everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I'm bringing you my first series sampler. These are pretty much just like first impressions videos, except I will be talking about my experience reading the first 3 volumes of a series as opposed to the very first volume. I find that I can't really get a good grasp on whether or not I enjoy a series enough to continue it just by reading the first volume. Also, a lot of times when I'm reading first volumes of series, there's not enough there for me to really understand what's going on or connect with any of the characters or anything like that. So I decided that I wanted to do a series sampler, which is why I'm calling these videos that. I'm just going to be giving you my general thoughts on the 3 volumes. I'm not going to be giving any spoilers. Just general thoughts about what I think of the series, if I had any issues with it, what I enjoy about it, and whether or not I will be continuing to collect this series. So in this episode, I will be talking about the Elder SisterLike One by Iida Pochi and Im, Great Priest Imhotep by Makoto Morishita. So we'll start off with the Elder SisterLike One by Iida Pochi. This series follows a boy named Yu, and he has been orphaned. He ends up being tossed around from family member to family member, and nobody wants to take care of him. And so his life after his parents have passed has not been great. He ends up living with his mother's youngest cousin, and the rule of the house is just to not go into the back shed house. So for now, Yu is living a relatively peaceful existence. I wouldn't say it would be happy, but his mother's cousin ends up getting really sick and being hospitalized. So now that he's older, no one wants to take care of him, and they think that he can just take care of himself at his mother's cousin's place. So that's what he's doing, but there's a little issue about the uncle's health insurance card. He can't seem to find it in the house. They need it to continue the cousin's care. And so he's looking up and down in the house, can't seem to find it, and there's only one other place it could be, which is the place he's not supposed to go to. But because this is such a dire situation, the cousin is in a coma, and you can't ask him where his health insurance card is. So he just decides that he's going to go into the store shed that he's not supposed to go into. And he ends up meeting a demon. And the demon is this person here that is on the front cover. Her name is Chio. And she tells him that she will grant him one wish in exchange for the thing he values the most. And so he tells her that he'd like her to become his older sister. And so that's how this story goes. It's her fulfilling his wish to become his elder sister. She takes on a human-like form, which you can see on the cover here, and starts learning how to become human. She starts reading books about different types of animals and starts learning about the world. She starts to learn how to cook and things like that. And she's also learning how to care for another person. So that's pretty much all this story is about at this point. Obviously, there are hijinks because there are things that Chio doesn't understand as a demon, and Yu has to explain to her that, things are a certain way in the human world. But basically, that is what this story is about. So I found this story to be rather slow. You can see that the volumes are really thin. Also, the size of the book is on the smaller side. This one is published by Yen Press and is rated mature. I believe this one is based on a doujinshi by the same mangaka. After I had finished the 3rd volume, I had actually gone to my anime list and read some comments about the manga, and they said that some of the illustrations were cut to make them not as racy. So I have to believe that this version of the story was made more palatable to an audience that would read mature manga but wouldn't necessarily read like hentai. I don't know that that made any difference to my reading experience. I don't read a lot of mature manga, but that being said, I didn't find anything really racy as far as things that I've read before. In these 3 volumes, there is some nudity. There are a few scenes that are a little bit uncomfortable to me. But I didn't really have an issue with any of that in this series. My issue with this series was that the story is very slow. Because the volumes are so thin, we don't really get a lot of story in each volume. And the summary that I gave you pretty much covers the 3 volumes. That's pretty much all that happens, is that Yu meets this demon, makes the deal, and it's all about Chio learning how to be human. I have a feeling that this story is going to go further than that, but I don't know how much further I need to wait before that happens, and I don't know that I want to be investing the money into a series that I'm not really hooked on. I do have questions about things that have happened so far. Like, obviously we know that there's this demon that his mother's cousin was keeping in the storehouse. Or was he keeping her? Like, why is she there? Why does he know that she's there? Is that the reason that he told you not to go into the storehouse? Did he make a deal with her? I have those types of questions. I also have questions about what it is that Chio is taking from you in exchange for the deal that she made with him. I have an idea of what I think she's gonna take if she hasn't taken it already. But even though I have all of these questions about where this story is going or about the story in general, I'm still not sure that I want to invest the money to find out, being how slow these 3 volumes went. I don't know how much more money I'd have to invest in order to get some story movement. So there is a 4th volume of this out right now. I do not know how long this series is going to be, but at this point, I'm holding off on this series for the moment. Like I said, I do have questions, so obviously I have an interest in the story, but is it enough to pay $13 per volume? That's kind of what I'm having a little war with myself on. So, like I said, it is published by Yen Press. The volumes are very thin, they're very small. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with this series right now. The other series that I read was Im, Great Priest Imhotep, which is also published by Yen Press. So you can see that the size difference is rather substantial. And then thickness-wise, it is also thicker. Im is also thicker. So, yeah, and this is $15. This is $13. Am I paying for the mature content? That's another question I have. So, I don't know. Still on the fence on that. If you have read that one, let me know, because I'd be very interested in your thoughts. Or if you know any more information on it, as far as how long it'll take before something more than Chio just trying to learn how to become a human and her relationship with you is, I'd really love to know that as well. But let's move on to Im, Great Priest Imhotep. Like I said, this is by Makoto Morishita and is published by Yam Press, rated teen. This one follows Im, the Great Priest Imhotep. He is brought back to life by a kind of secret society to exorcise the Magi that have infested the world. And the Magi are basically false gods, so the secret society resurrects Im so that he can go and exorcise all of these Magi because he's the only one that can do it. So he basically gets transported to modern day Japan, where he meets Hinome. I can never remember her name. But Hinome is our main female character. She is a teenager. And Hinome has been affected by one of the Magi. And so Im notices this right off the bat after bumping into her on the street and exorcises the Magi from her. So the story basically follows Im and Hinome kind of navigating the world while Im is exorcising these Magi, but Hinome is trying to adjust to a normal life because Hinome was bullied for a long time because people called her like an ice queen, but she had to be that way because of what the Magi had done to her. So she's learning how to make friends and, be more social, learn how to talk to people because she's had this infliction for a long time. That's pretty much what this series is about as far as I've read. Unlike Elder SisterLike One, I really enjoyed this one. I knew early on, after I started reading this series, that I was going to be collecting it. And after reading the 3rd volume, I'm definitely going to be continuing to collect it. There are 6 volumes out right now, though I still only have these 3. As you can see, Im is portrayed kind of as a teenager. He looks very young. He acts very young. I believe in history we don't know much about Imhotep personally, and so this story is very fictionalized. As you can see on the cover here, there is another historical character being portrayed. This is the depiction of Pharaoh Djoser. And in the 3rd volume, we also get introduced to another Egyptian historical figure. I'm not going to say any more than that because that would be a spoiler. But we find out a little bit about Im and his relationship with the pharaoh. Or he's a prince here. He's not yet a pharaoh, but that is something that is known in history, that Imhotep and Djoser were close. So it definitely incorporates that part of history into this story. I find that this story has quite a bit of humor to it. For example, after Im bumps into Hinome, he ends up in a precarious situation, and Hinome has to take him to her house. And he's all like, I like this house, I'm making it mine. And Hinome's dad collects occult stuff. And so the family is kind of outcasted because of that, and with the way Hinome kind of acted because she was inflicted with this Magi, and the house that they live in just looks creepy. So the father immediately recognizes Im and suddenly is like his servant. He like massages Im's legs. He goes and makes Im food. He makes sure that Im is comfortable. And it's just hilarious because he's like this total fanboy around Im. But there are little bits of comedy that is woven throughout this story that I find very, very entertaining. I enjoy the story. with Im trying to find all these Magi and the way that he is exercising them. We also meet some other characters from a different secret society who have other intentions on using the Magi for other things. So there's some political intrigue in this, there's some mystery involved, and there's some action as well. So I do really enjoy what has happened so far in this series. Like I said, I will be continuing with this series and purchasing the rest of what's out. I'm not going to show you the third volume because the cover of the volume is pretty spoilery. I think I might have shown a little bit, but I don't think I showed enough that you'd be able to see. But yeah, I'm even going to cover this picture right here on the spine because, like I said, I did find it spoilery. But I love the art style. The story is very interesting, as I said. And yeah, we'll be continuing with this one. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this particular title. So if you've read it, let me know down in the comments below what you think of this title. What volume are you on? Are you collecting it? Did you not enjoy this title? Let me know. And again, a reminder to also let me know if you have read the Elder SisterLike One, because again, that's another series that I haven't heard very many people talk about, and I'd really love to hear what you have to say on that. So that will complete my first series sampler. If you've gotten this far in the video, thanks for watching, and definitely let me know which of these series you'd be more interested in by commenting either Elder for Elder SisterLike One or Imhotep for Great Priest Imhotep. So that's all I've got for this video. I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.